The hard truth: you are not stuck because you lack talent. You are stuck because you have been practicing giving up. Every time you say, "I am just bad at this," you add one more lock. Enough. Remove the lock. Open the door. Look it in the eye. A fixed mindset is not a built-in chip. It is a habit you train with your words, with an empty calendar, with that extra 5-minute scroll. Stop. Rewrite the script in your head right now. Picture this. With just 3 new phrases and 15 minutes a day, your brain switches modes. From do not let anyone put you down to do not let today slip by. From I cannot do it to I cannot do it yet. From I am bad by nature to I am short on practice hours. Do you hear it? The door just clicked. I know you are afraid. Afraid of being wrong. Afraid of looking foolish. Afraid of starting and then quitting halfway. Everyone feels that. I feel that too. But being wrong is not a sentence. Being wrong is a map. An error is just a coordinate. Read it. Move 1 square forward. Now do 3 tiny things. Place your phone an arm's length away. Pick exactly 1 task in front of you. Breathe deep. Do the first 5 minutes. Do not beg for motivation, create evidence. Do not wait for luck, design your habits. Do not tear yourself down, coach yourself forward. You want to wow. Listen to yourself after 7 days with a growing chain of check marks. You want to be different. Schedule a focus 15 tonight, then repeat it every day. When you want to quit, say out loud, "I grow every day." Say it again, then add 1 more check mark. This is not a quick hit motivational speech. This is a switch. Flip it today and the light will stay tomorrow. If you stay to the end, you will make a real shift from fixed to a systematic growth mindset with clear steps you can do in the next 24 hours. If you skip out, you keep the old loop. If you stay, you take back the wheel. Decide now. Chapter 1, Quick Recognition. Signs of a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. You are not stuck because you lack talent. You are stuck because you keep repeating the same line in your head. I do not have a natural gift. Enough. Stop right here. Look this truth in the eye. If you keep dodging challenges, you will shrink a little every day. If you keep fearing embarrassment, you will stay on the sidelines. If you keep labeling yourself, you will lose the chance to change the label. So, we start with recognition. Call the monster in your head by its right name. Only when you name it accurately can you give it orders. The promise for you in this chapter is clear. You will have a pair of lenses to spot a fixed mindset in 10 seconds, and a small set of moves to switch into a growth mindset today. When you say, "I cannot," the brain shuts the door. When you say, "I cannot yet," the brain opens the door. With a single word, yet the hallway lights up. Do not dodge. Name it accurately. Do not judge. Describe the behavior. Do not tear yourself down. Guide yourself forward. Picture this. Tomorrow someone says, "You are naturally good at this." You smile and answer, "I practice every day." A fixed mindset says, "Do not let anyone put you down." A growth mindset says, "Do not let today slip by." The difference lives inside the sentences you speak to yourself. Now think for a moment. How is your day being labeled? You dodge the difficult email. You skip the small exercise. You are not bad. You are simply missing one small way to begin, and you are about to have it. Not avoidance, but accurate naming. Not "I am weak, but I am short on practice hours." Not waiting, but standing up and taking action. The key rule here is opposition. Not fixed, but moving. Not "I cannot, but I cannot yet." When you change the sentence, you change the outcome. When you change the outcome, you change your identity. That is a positive chain reaction. Let us move into practice. You will do 3 very small moves, so small that excuses will not stick. The benefits of these 3 moves are clear. You will have evidence tonight. You will have a chain of check marks starting from this very line. Move 1. Open your notebook or your notes app. Write down 5 lines you often say to yourself that start with "I cannot." For example, "I cannot present well." "I cannot learn English." Now transform each line. Add the word "yet" and add an action tail. The pattern is "I cannot yet, but I will." For example, "I do not present well yet, but I will record 60 seconds tonight." I do not speak fluently yet, but I will study 10 new words right now. I do not write well yet, but I will write 150 words before bed. Why do this? Because language directs behavior. When you say I will, the brain looks for a path instead of an excuse. Move 2. Choose exactly one thing you have been avoiding. The duration is no more than 15 minutes. It could be a difficult email, a small exercise, one short page of reading. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Turn off notifications for 15 minutes. Begin right now for 15 minutes. But hold on. If 15 minutes still feels big, cut it down to the first 5 minutes. 5 minutes to open the file, type the first sentence, send the main point. What is the benefit? You tap into new momentum. You create a piece of evidence tonight. Move 3. Set a reminder for 9 o'clock in the evening on your phone. The note says, what did I learn today? When the alarm rings, write exactly one line. Short, clear, with a verb. For example, study the simple present tense. Send a short report email. One line is enough. One line makes a memory of progress. One line keeps you on the track. 3 moves, 1 breath, 1 evening. You have evidence. You have a chain that begins. From now on, when the old voice shows up, answer with the opposite pattern. Not I cannot, but I cannot yet. Not I am weak, but I am practicing. This is the not, but structure you must remember. Not avoidance, but accurate naming. Not self-blame, but strategy repair. You can tape a piece of paper to your screen. Write the 3 opposite sentences in a vertical column. Read them once a day before you start work. Do not hunt for moments of inspiration. Hunt for behavior chains. The chain is what lifts you. You will see this tonight. When you send that email, your breathing will ease. When you finish 150 words, you will feel a little more confident. Repeat tomorrow. Every day, add 1 check mark. The chain will light up like a string of lights on the wall. If you break the chain, do not judge yourself. Come back quickly within 24 hours. Now the decision is yours. Keep the old label or change the sentence. Keep avoiding or do the first 5 minutes. I stand with you. I will nudge you at 9 o'clock in the evening. You will write 1 line of your own. Your journey does not need fireworks. Your journey needs a calendar and a pen, and 1 well-placed word yet. You have already started. Keep this momentum for tomorrow. Let the evidence pull you forward. As you close tonight, mark 1 check mark and whisper like a promise to yourself. I grow every day. Tomorrow we will dig into the roots of fixed beliefs from childhood so you can loosen them faster and go farther. Chapter 2. The Origin of Beliefs. Why you get stuck in a fixed mindset. Here is the hard truth. You were not born with a stamp that says cannot. That stamp was stuck on you by praise and criticism, repeated over and over. On the day someone said, you are naturally smart, you learn to fear being wrong. On the day someone concluded you are not a math person, you learn to stand on the sidelines. Those lines cling to your forehead like an old sticker. So, we peel it off from the root. Do not praise results, praise effort. Do not worship what is inborn, respect practice. You need a clear starting point. If you do not understand the origin, you will try to fix the branches. Once you understand, you can choose the right direction to move. Picture this. A child who finishes quickly is praised so good. The one still struggling gets the look of disappointment. Praising results sets an invisible trap. The strong child fears falling off the pedestal. The slow child fears being called out in front of the class. You grow up with 2 fears. The fear of no longer being smart, the fear of being labeled dumb. From there you pick the easy problems. You avoid the tough arenas. You would rather stay silent than raise your hand. But hold on, that is not your nature. It is only a survival operating system learned from the environment. And operating systems can be updated. Now think about it. How many early labels can you remember? You heard them in the kitchen, in the classroom, in the conference room. Some labels sound sweet. You are a genius, but sweet like caramel, sticky and hard to remove. Some labels sting. You are not cut out for this field. A sting like sandpaper grinding down your confidence. We change how we read them. Do not read them as verdicts, read them as data. Do not listen to be blocked, listen to choose a path. When you only praise results, you unintentionally teach the brain to fear mistakes. When you praise effort, you teach the brain to find a way. The difference lives in the rhythm of daily praise. Here's the new rule of the game. Not I was born this way, but how am I training? Not a fit or not a fit, but how many hours have I practiced? You have wondered why you criticize yourself so easily. Because you borrow the voice of the past to speak to the present. Give that voice back to the past. Right now we install a new voice. The voice of a learner. The voice of someone who is becoming. I know you want quick evidence. You will have it tonight. 3 small moves, clear and doable. The benefit of these 3 moves is that you cut labels off at the source. You correct the model in your head, not just your outer behavior. You plant a stake that says this is the new direction today. Move 1. Write down 3 of your clearest label memories. 1 from home, 1 from school, 1 from work. Note the context briefly. Write the exact sentence that was said. Write the feeling you carried afterward. You will see a red thread. Praise for innate ability lifts you up fast, then drops you faster. Criticism of your essence drags you down, then keeps you at the bottom. Move 2. Rewrite the 3 labels toward effort. A helpful template is I lack practice hours, not ability. Very concrete examples. I am not a math person becomes I lack a foundation in fractions. I will review for 30 minutes tonight. I am bad at English becomes my pronunciation is not accurate yet. I will practice the sound for 5 minutes before bed. Why write them again? Because language is the gear that drives the brain. You shift the gear into find a way instead of find an excuse. Move 3. Say an effort-based compliment to one person a day. Just 1 minute, but it flavors the whole day. You can say it to your child, to a colleague, or to yourself in the mirror. I see you sticking with a tough problem with real grit. That is excellent. You prepared thoroughly, and even if the result is not there yet, that deserves praise. The benefit of the 3rd move is that you change the climate around you. When the environment shifts, habits shift. When habits shift, beliefs shift. This trio of moves creates a new loop. You record memories, you relabel, you plant the right kind of praise. Tomorrow you repeat in a different context. Every day you reclaim the right to name yourself. You cut the born this way circuit. You switch on the practice circuit. The key rule to memorize in this chapter is crystal clear. Do not praise results, praise effort. Do not worship what is inborn, respect practice. One more layer of contrast to go deeper. Do not ask, am I a fit? Ask, how long have I practiced? Do not wait for the genius to wake up. Schedule a fixed practice hour. You can tape a note at your desk, only 3 lines on it. Effort, practice hours, 1 step. Whenever you hear someone give innate ability praise, translate it in your head. So smart becomes, you have an effective study routine. Natural talent becomes, you practice with great consistency. Translate for yourself too. I am not cut out for this field becomes, I lack the foundation. I will study for 20 minutes tonight. I was born with no musical ear becomes, I will transcribe 60 seconds of a recording to train. But hold on, if the old environment still pulls you back, you need a new anchor. Anchor it in how you praise and anchor it in your calendar. Block a fixed slot in your week for a core practice hour. 45 minutes, 5 sessions the same time of day. Do not wait for inspiration. Just wait for the hour to arrive. Why keep the schedule firm? Because the brain loves certainty. The schedule is the promise you sign with yourself. During that practice hour, do only one thing. Read 1 chapter, copy 1 passage, solve 1 type of problem. Measurable, visible, and easy to summarize. You will notice something gentle. When you praise effort, you forgive yourself faster. Because of that, you return faster after each missed beat. A person who lives on innate ability praise shatters when criticized. A person who lives on effort praise stands back up when criticized. Same blow, different bounce. If you are a parent today, change your praise pattern. If you are a manager today, change your praise pattern. If you are speaking only to yourself today, change your praise pattern. We are not denying talent. We are simply not worshiping it. We worship the habits that lead to talent. It may feel strange at first, because for many years you have been hearing those labels. Strange is normal, and then it becomes familiar. Give yourself 7 days to adapt. 7 days to write memories and rewrite labels. 7 days to praise in the right places. Change the praise and you change the memory bank. Change the memory bank and you change the reflex. New reflexes will pull new results toward you. Tonight before sleep, open your notes again. Add 2 more memories if they surface. Sharpen the sentences. Then congratulate yourself for a small change with big potential. A change at the deepest layer. The layer where you name yourself. When you turn off the lights, say one quiet line like driving a stake into the ground. I grow every day. Tomorrow we step into the next chapter. You will learn how to turn mistakes into data, write a short checklist, and try again more intelligently. The road is opening right in front of you. Chapter 3. Language shapes the brain. Change the sentence to activate a growth mindset. Every time you say, "I am so stupid," your brain believes you instantly. One short sentence, but it is like a drill that pierces your confidence. Stop right here. Do not tear yourself down, guide yourself forward. Do not judge, describe the behavior. Change the sentence, then change the result. So, today we retrain the language inside. We do not need a long speech. We need a simple command sheet, clear and ready to use right away. You want a specific promise. By the end of this chapter, you will have 5 replacement phrases ready to use. You will also have 1 question taped in front of you that unlocks action whenever you hesitate. You will also have a 10-second ritual. Say it out loud decisively before any task. That ritual will pull you into the orbit of focus within the first 5 minutes. Picture this. Your brain is like an assistant who follows commands. Whatever you say, it executes. If you say, "I do not understand," it shuts off the discovery screen. If you say, "I do not understand yet, I need 20 minutes to review the example," it opens the right tab. Language does not just describe reality, it creates the next reality. Now think, what did you say to yourself this morning? "I am so stupid. This is not for me." Those sentences are verdicts. The brain does not appeal. The brain only executes. But hold on. What if we turn the verdict into an instruction? What if we replace judgment with a step? You get 1 more escape route right there on the keyboard. Do not tear yourself down, guide yourself forward. Not "I am bad, but I need an example." Not "this is not for me, but it does not fit yet because I lack a foundation." When you change the sentence, your breathing softens. Shame gives way to curiosity. Curiosity produces a small action. A small action produces evidence. Evidence pulls you through the swamp of self-doubt. That is the new chain of causality. I want you to feel the weight of each word. 1 word yet lights up the hallway. 1 phrase need 20 minutes turns the fog into a schedule. You do not need to be a great writer to speak well. You only need a standard for command sentences. A command must be short, clear, and verb-led. For example, "do not understand" becomes "do not understand yet, review example A." Too hard becomes "hard, break it into 3 steps." A command must point to the first step. A step you can literally see. A step you can do in 5 to 20 minutes. If you slip into the loop of self-criticism, do not argue with that voice. Command your body to do the first move. Drink water, open the file. Read 3 lines of the prompt. 3 physical moves block the negative soundtrack. When the body begins, the words behave. Then you keep guiding yourself with short commands. Now for the practice that pays off immediately, you will write, you will tape, and you will speak. 3 nails that fasten the new language habit. The benefits of this action cluster are clear. You turn your self-talk from a blocker into an internal coach. You cut the distance from idea to action down to 10 seconds. Move 1, write 5 replacement phrases. Reason having a menu of sentences helps the brain choose quickly under stress. No need to overthink, just read and do. Here are helpful patterns. I do not understand yet. I need 20 minutes to review the example. I do not remember yet. I will create flashcards for 5 words and review at 9 o'clock in the evening. Add 3 more. I am not confident yet. I will speak for 60 seconds into a voice note. I cannot write yet. I will type 150 rough words without editing. I cannot solve it yet. I will look at 1 step of the solution, then stop and try again. You can personalize them. Change 20 minutes to 15 minutes if the evening is busy. Change 150 words to 100 words if you just got home from work. What matters is the structure, not judgment but behavior described, not vague but time-boxed. Move 2, tape a note in front of your screen, only one line on it. Question, what is the first step? Reason this question cuts through the fog. It turns the habit of complaining into a pathfinding machine. Every task has a first unlocking touch point. Place the note where your eyes collide with it. On the laptop, in the notebook, on the wall by your desk. The closer, the better, the fewer words, the stronger. Whenever you get pulled away by scrolling the feed, pause for one beat. Read the question out loud and answer with one specific verb. Open the file, sketch the outline, write the headline. Move 3, the 10-second out loud ritual. Before each task, stand tall. State one clear instruction to yourself. Start with the example, 20 minutes. Record for 60 seconds, no stopping. Type 150 words, then review. Why say it out loud? Sound forces the brain to be present. The body obeys the owner's command. This ritual needs no props, only your voice and a clock. 10 seconds is enough to pull your brain onto the rails. If you are in public, whisper the words or mouth them silently or record a voice note through your headphones. The key is declaring the first step clearly. Once you have started, do not debate your feelings. Complete one short cycle. 5 minutes if you feel overloaded. 15 minutes if you have the capacity. When the cycle ends, write one line of summary. Reviewed example A today. Now I see why it was wrong. One line preserves the memory. Language is the surface of water that reflects the mind. When the water is murky, the image is distorted. Filter the water with command sentences and the image will sharpen. You do not need to wait for an ideal day. You need the right sentences and a switch you can flip to focus on cue. From now on, whenever the old sentence appears, use the opposing structure. Not I am so stupid, but do not understand yet, review the example. Not this is not for me, but lack the foundation, read chapter 1. Rule of 3, use it once and with full force. Change the sentence, change the rhythm, change the result. If someone teases you, why do you talk like a robot? Just smile. You are not a robot. You are your own coach. A good coach uses few commands but the right ones. So, keep your set of 5 sentences in your pocket. You can write them on small cards. You can pin them in a home screen widget. Each morning, read them once as a warm-up. Each midday, update if needed. Each evening, check which sentence saved you the most. Do not fear repetition. Repeat to carve deep. Repeat to turn the new sentences into reflexes. You will find that after 7 days, your mouth adds, yet before it says no. After 14 days, your hands open the file before you have time to complain. After 21 days, your brain proposes the first step whenever a task feels vague. You will forget at times. You will slip and insult yourself at times. It is all right, return immediately with a fresh command. Treat every slip as a chance to practice the recovery reflex. Right after the slip, say, not yet, break this into smaller steps. That is how you rebuild the rails. Language does not live only in the head. Language lives in your hands, in your eyes, and your straight back. The body speaks before the mouth. So each time you state a command, add one small move. Pull the chair closer to the desk. Place both feet on the floor. Open the first page of the document. When the body is in position, the brain obeys twice as fast. Do not wait for inspiration to agree. Command inspiration to follow. Whether you teach a child, a team, or yourself, praise the command, not the label. Today you split a tough problem into 3 parts. Excellent. That kind of praise teaches the brain to search for process. Process creates a sense of control. Control generates calm. Calm is the fuel of learning, not the cheer of genius, but the steady breath you keep when the problem gets hard. At the end of the day, you only need 1 minute. Review one command you use the most. Write one variant that fits tomorrow's work better. Your command bank will grow. But remember the golden rule. Fewer and sharper beats many and blurry. Keep the list at 5 to 7. Enough for flexibility, not enough for confusion. Replace gradually when a stronger sentence appears. Tonight you can begin with a pair of sentences. Do not understand yet. Review the example for 20 minutes. Not confident yet. Speak for 60 seconds. Then tape the question in front of you. Question, what is the first step? Each time you lose the rhythm, ask again, answer, and get to work. Before you fall asleep, recall one moment when you changed the sentence and changed the rhythm. That feeling of lightness is the first reward. The lasting reward is the habit you just planted. Close this chapter with a steady whisper, like setting the final brick of the day. You have changed the sentence, and therefore you have changed yourself. I grow every day. Tomorrow we will lock in small evidence to secure a 1% daily gain and turn your new language into a chain of results that cannot be denied. Chapter 4. Small evidence 1% a day to lock in a growth mindset. You are waiting for inspiration the way people wait for a winning lottery ticket. On days without inspiration, you stand still. Stand still long enough and you call it fate. Here is the hard truth. No one is coming to rescue you from an oversized goal. You must cut it down until excuses have nowhere to hide. Today we change the rules of the game. Do not wait for inspiration, create evidence. Do not leap far, move forward by 1%. The promise of this chapter is crystal clear. You will have a 20-minute evening ritual to build momentum. You will have small, tangible evidence that keeps a 7-day chain alive. Picture this. 1 brick laid each night. After 7 nights, you already have a foundation. Now think about it. You often set goals like write a book, speak fluently, learn to code in a month. Goals that big stun the brain and freeze your hands. Do not dream about titles lock in practice time. Do not try to carry the mountain, carry 1 stone. Do not demand results right now, demand evidence tonight. The 1% rule sounds small. Small is correct. Small but steady is the power. 1 20-minute block each night. 1 micro proof saved immediately after. 1 chain calendar of check marks posted where you will see it every day. You are asking, why 20 minutes? Because 20 minutes is long enough to enter the zone and short enough not to scare you. Because 20 minutes slices through the excuse of I am busy. If 20 minutes still feels big, start with 5 minutes. 5 minutes opens the door and 20 minutes will follow. Choose 1 specific skill tonight. Writing or coding or speaking, only 1, not 2, not 3. Not I am learning everything, but I am locking in 1 thing. Not I will do it when I have a free evening, but I will do it at 8:30 in the evening. Not tomorrow, but today. Here is how to enter a 20-minute deep block. Spend 3 minutes preparing. Silence notifications, prepare your water, open the exact material. Press start on the timer. Set a countdown clock. Focus on 1 exercise, 1 passage, 1 case. If it is writing, type a 150-word paragraph without editing. If it is coding, write 5 lines that actually run with a short note. If it is speaking practice, record a 60-second voice note without stopping. Speak clearly, keep a steady pace, forget perfection. But hold on. If you find yourself drifting, do not scold yourself. Pull back onto the rails with the command. What is the first step? Answer with a verb. Open the file. Run example A. Read the first paragraph out loud. You do not need to be impressive. You need to get to work. Once you start, the inspiration follows you like a shadow. When the cycle ends, capture the small evidence. Write 150 words, say 5 lines of code, name the file. Voice 60 seconds, 20, 25, 08, 24. That is a micro proof. Why save evidence? Because the brain loves visible wins. Seeing progress sustains the chain longer than spoken promises ever will. Put each micro proof into a single folder. Name the folder 1%. Add 1 piece every night and your progress archive will thicken. Now for the checkmark chain. Draw a 7-box calendar as simple as possible. Place it where your eyes land each morning. Each night you finish, mark 1 large clear check mark. No cluttered notes. 1 check mark is enough for the brain to register done. Rule of 3, use it once and keep it tight. Do 20 minutes. Save a micro proof. Mark a check mark. If you miss a night, do not punish yourself. Do not erase the chain. Return within 24 hours and draw a small arrow that says continue. Why is the chain so effective? Because it turns progress into a visual game. Because it makes you feel you are keeping your promise to yourself. You will meet two familiar obstacles. First, an unexpected event lands exactly on your practice hour. Second, your mood drops right before you begin. Solution to the first obstacle: split the shift, do not cancel it. 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening, still 20 minutes total. Solution to the second obstacle: run a 5-minute warm-up ritual. Say the small goal out loud, do one very easy step, get the engine warm. But hold on, if today you are completely exhausted, use the minimum chain-keeping version. Read your notes for 2 minutes, replay one old voice note, then mark a check mark. This is not cheating. This is momentum insurance. Keeping the rhythm matters more than putting on a show. Now choose a skill. Writing, coding, or speaking. Lock one in right now. Set the stage, a clean desk with only 3 items. Computer, water, notebook. Nothing else on the surface. Set the timer. Choose one looping background track if you need it. But remember, silence often gets you into flow faster. While working, do not multitask. Multitasking creates the feeling of being busy, not evidence. One task, one screen, one clock. If you write, focus on the main idea and strong verbs. If you code, focus on one runnable case and minimal tests. If you speak, focus on clarity, steadiness, and complete sentences. Right now, you may be thinking, 20 minutes is too small. Yes, it is small, but a week becomes 140 minutes. A month becomes about 600 minutes. That is 10.5 hours you use to let slip away. Now it is in your pocket as microproof. Each microproof is one brick. The wall of progress is built with small bricks, not giant vows. That is the way of 1%. You can show your chain if you want, but more important is to keep it private like a vow. Share for fun, keep for endurance. When someone asks, why are you different lately? You only need to open the 1% folder. Those date name files will answer for you. Do not compare your chain to someone else's chain. Compare today with yesterday. Compare the exact number of check marks you have. Every day lay one brick. Every day save one piece of evidence. Every day remember that small and steady beats big and scattered. You live in an age of comparison. Small evidence is the shield that protects you from envy. It says, I am walking my own path. Do not wait for inspiration, create evidence. Do not leap far, move forward by 1%. Do not promise a lot, execute with certainty. If you need extra spark, set one small milestone for the weekend. For example, finish chapter 2, push 1 pull request, record 5 clips of 60 seconds. Small milestones create a sense of finishing. Small finishes encourage big finishes. That is the psychology of flow. At the end of each week, spend 10 minutes reviewing. Keep what works, cut what is clutter, increase by 10% what matters. You're tuning your instrument before the performance. You might think I lack talent. We addressed this in the previous chapters. You do not lack talent, you lack evidence. Evidence builds belief. Belief drives action. Action produces stronger evidence. That is the growth loop. Small, steady, consistent, quiet but compounding. Tonight, 20 minutes of a deep block. Then save one microproof. Then place one check mark on the 7-box calendar. When you turn off the lights, say one warm, compact line to lock the day shut. You know the line already. I grow every day. Tomorrow we will move into the practice environment, how to cut off temptations so that your 20 minutes feel natural, not a battle of willpower. Chapter 5, Environment Design. So a growth mindset beats old habits. A notification hits your hand and you jump from the desk like someone tugged your sleeve. One message, one scroll. 5 minutes turn into 45. The work sits there like a car out of gas in the middle of the road. You blame weak willpower. Here is the hard truth. It is not that your willpower lost. It is that the design around you won. So, we changed the game tonight. Do not rely on willpower, rely on design. Do not fight temptation, cut off the source of temptation. I promise you a clear framework, a clean desk that drops your brain into gear fast, an automatic distraction firewall from 8 to 10 in the evening. and a straight-talking accountability partner who pulls you back onto the track when you drift. You do not need vague grit. You need a different playing field. Picture this. You walk into a gym with lullaby music, dim yellow lights, and machines scattered everywhere. Do you feel like training? Very hard, because the environment says go home. The body obeys the environment before it obeys you. Now think about it. What does your desk say each night? Stay and focus or sit and chill for a bit. If the second line speaks up most nights, stop scolding yourself. Change the line by changing the scene. Do not ask for more motivation, change the context. Do not tense up, remove the backward pull. Do not shout, try harder, shout, clear the path. That is the rule of this chapter. When the road is clear, the car rolls. When the scene is right, the brain shifts into gear. We start with the training desk. A clean surface like a starting lane. Only 3 items, not a single extra. Computer, water, notebook. Why only 3? Because the brain hates clutter when it wants to focus. Every extra trinket is a tiny tug on your eyes. You do not need decor when you are entering work mode. You need low friction so you can start within 10 seconds. Clearing the surface clears the friction. But hold on, things still need a home. True. Give them an edge box or a dedicated drawer so they do not sit on the raceway. Just 5 minutes to reset your desk tonight. 5 minutes are enough to feel a big difference tomorrow. It is a cheap, effective, groundbreaking dose. Next comes a firewall against old habits. You cannot beat the algorithm if you keep the door open. So, we close the door for 2 golden hours. Install a blocker application for your 3 most distracting websites during the 8 to 10 in the evening window. Whatever the top 3 are for you, block them. Do not debate with yourself during work hours. Let the machine do the hard job. You keep the easy job. Sit down and do the work. If you use a Windows computer, use Focus Assist or any simple blocker. If you use a Mac or a phone, screen time is enough. The application is not the point. The fixed blocking schedule is the point. Turn it on tonight, tomorrow night it runs again. A small reminder for you. Blocking by a fixed schedule is mentally lighter than blocking on impulse. The brain loves certainty and respects a fence that repeats. Now the third line of defense, a real human who speaks plainly and stands with you. Call this person a straight-talking accountability partner. Why do you need this person? Because when we are tired, we are blind to our own reasons. Because one timely nudge is cheaper than a long regret. Choose someone you trust who is not afraid to be direct. They do not need to be a disciplined superstar, only honest. Someone who dares to ask, where is tonight's checkmark? Send a commitment message for tonight. Short, clear scheduled. 8:30 to 9 o'clock in the evening, deep block writing. I will send a checkmark when done. You do not need a long explanation. You need a timestamp. This is a mini contract for your momentum. Look back at the trio. The 3-item training desk, the 8 to 10 in the evening block, the straight-talking accountability partner. 3 anchors that hold you steady in the wind. The wind of social media, the wind of small talk, the wind of laziness. Rule of 3 is enough. We stop here to avoid clutter. Now into concrete practice. You will clear, you will configure, and you will message. The benefit of these 3 actions is immediate. A lighter head, quicker hands, and easier chain to keep. Tomorrow morning, you will need less trying. Action 1, create the training desk. Only 3 things on the surface: computer, water, notebook. Everything else to the edge, into a box or onto a shelf. Time needed 5 minutes. Set a countdown so you do not wander. When the bell rings, stop and sit down. A small tip. Hang a blank sheet under the lamp so you do not forget the mission. On it, write 1 line. Start within 10 seconds. Action 2, set a blocker application for 3 distracting websites from 8 to 10 in the evening. Pick the exact 3 that pull you away. Add them to the block list for your practice window. You do not need to block forever. Only block during the hours you promised yourself. When the window ends, enjoy entertainment if you wish. If you worry that work requires research. Whitelist learning sources. Do not open the gate to energy drains. Action 3, pick a straight-talking accountability partner. Send tonight's commitment right after this. Friend, at 8:30, I will train for 30 minutes. When done, I will send you a check mark. Short is enough. Do not ask for pep talks, ask for verification. You will be surprised by the effect of one pair of waiting eyes. But hold on, if you do not know whom to message yet, start with a small group of 3. Rotate checkmark reports at 9 o'clock in the evening each night. The bigger the group, the noisier it gets. Small groups last longer. 3 is the sweet spot that leaves no room to hide. Once the framework runs, why force it shrinks? Because you are no longer solo against temptation. You let the system carry half the load. From here, add a few details to the new field. Light that is bright enough on the desk surface. A chair that fits your back, a desk that fits your hands. Headphones to block noise. A no lyrics playlist if needed. But remember, silence usually gets you into state the fastest. Charge your battery before practice. Water on the right notebook on the left. Mouse cursor placed at the very first line. Everything is ready like a runway lit at night. Your job is simply to roll. No extra rituals, no ocean of tabs. If you work at home with family around, set a simple, quiet signal. For example, a hat hung on the lamp means 20 minutes of training in session. Make a small agreement, 20 minutes without being called, then you rejoin family life as usual. This is how you negotiate with real life. No extreme isolation, no training like a hermit. You live among people, but you own a focus zone. That zone becomes territory over time. Your brain learns inside this boundary we work. If friends tease you, why try so hard? Smile. They have not seen your chain of check marks. Do not argue, do the work and let results speak. Many who once joked will ask to borrow your playbook. On tired days, you will thank yourself for laying the rails. The train may move slowly, but it does not derail. You still touch the check mark before sleep. Remember the opposing structure when you wobble. Do not rely on willpower, rely on design. Do not fight temptation, cut off the source of temptation. Once more, the core trio for tonight. The 3-item training desk, the 8 to 10 in the evening block, the straight-talking accountability partner. When finished, snap a photo of the new desk. Take a screenshot of the blocked websites. Capture the commitment message you sent. You just assembled a small ecosystem. Small but with real pulling power. That pull lets you spend willpower on the important thing, doing the work. After 7 days, the new environment becomes the new normal. After 14 days, you begin to feel the hour arrives, and I sit down automatically. After 21 days, people will assume you were born disciplined. You know the secret now. Nothing is inborn, it is design. When you turn off the desk lamp tonight, place your hand on the notebook and breathe deep. Close with one warm, compact line, like a final lock on the day that says you are on course and will continue tomorrow. I grow every day. Tomorrow we will enter Chapter 6. You will learn to treat failure as data-right short checklists and try again more intelligently instead of passing judgment on yourself. Chapter 6, Failure Equals Data, How a Growth Mindset Reads Mistakes. You are not afraid of failure. You are afraid of being labeled, I am bad at this. That fear keeps you off the hard problems. Here is the hard truth. You are using mistakes as a verdict. Meanwhile, people who progress use mistakes as a map. So, we change how we read failure today. Do not see a mistake as a verdict, see it as a map. Not shame, but curiosity. I promise you a very compact framework. You will dissect a mistake in 3 lines. You will write a 3-step checklist so you do not repeat it. And you will schedule a smaller retry within 48 hours. These are 3 bridges straight across the pit of shame. Cross once and you will want to keep going. Picture this. You give a presentation and stumble on the key point. The room goes silent for 3 heavy seconds. The old brain says you are bad. The new brain asks, where did the drop happen? The difference is the first question. Now think, what is your most recent mistake? A wrong number in an email, a broken piece of code, or a stumble in a talk? Do not turn away, face it. Name the mistake with one behavior-focused sentence. Not I am terrible, but I under-prepared section B. Not I am a mess, but I chose an example that was too complex. Not I am not a fit, but I have not practiced that scenario yet. When you change the sentence, the feeling settles. Curiosity appears. Small actions become possible. Now the dissection, a 3-line ultra-short frame. Hypothesis, test, learn. Write exactly 3 lines for the mistake that just happened. Hypothesis, I thought doing A would lead to B. Test, I did A and way C. Learn. The result was D and I realized E must change. These 3 lines close the emotional file and open the technical file. You just moved from courtroom to laboratory. But hold on. Do not stop at a vague conclusion. Close with one micro rule. So next time you have a solid handle. Here is where the 3-step checklist comes in. A checklist is not for showing off. A checklist saves you when your heart is pounding. Write 3 short, visible, immediate steps. Step 1, a starter action. Step 2, check the risk point. Step 3, a criterion to stop or continue. Rule of 3 is used only here and with full force. 3 is enough to remember, not enough to confuse. Example for presenting. Step 1, rewrite the key line in 12 words. Step 2, speak the key line 3 times and record once. Step 3, ask a colleague, is the key line clear? Example for coding. Step 1, write a minimal test for function X. Step 2, run the test before refactoring and capture the result. Step 3, make a small commit after each change with a 1-line note. Example for spoken English. Step 1, open a 60-second script on topic Y. Step 2, record 1 pass without stopping. Step 3, listen back and mark 3 pronunciation errors. Do you see it? There is no room for I am bad. There is only room for the next step. Why are checklists effective? Because they compress what you learn into a method. Because they lower decision load when you are stressed. Next is scheduling the retry. Do not push it to infinity. Do not attempt the large version. Put it on the calendar within 48 hours. A smaller version, no more than 30 minutes. Return while the memory is still warm. Set the time right now if you can. Pick a specific day and hour. Title it Small Retry for Mistake Z. Why smaller? Because small invites you back. Because returning quickly changes how you feel about yourself. The feeling I am bad is born when you run away. The feeling I am learning is born when you return. Returning is the cheapest antidote to shame. If you worry about other people's eyes, retry in a safe setting. An empty room, a private call, a separate test repository. When you have enough confidence, try it in the real context. Increase the difficulty gradually. Open the doors of the room step by step. So, practice seeing mistakes through a new lens. Not a crack, but a marker that points the way. Not evidence for conviction, but data for improvement. A small trick to quiet shame instantly. Place your hand on the desk and exhale slowly. Say calmly, this is data. Sound brings you back to reason. Breath carries you across the emotional bridge. You return to the ground of action. If you dislike writing because your handwriting is messy, use short bullet points. Use 3 boxes, H, T, L. Sh is hypothesis, T is test, L is learn. Keep it tight enough that one glance is enough. No philosophy, no grand statements, just facts and one small decision. One small decision could be switch the example, or split the task into 2 sessions, or add 1 verification step. Do not expect a leap. Expect a launch pad. A good launch pad takes you to the next leap. During the day, you may hit many small mistakes. Pick the nearest one and run the 3-line frame. Do it in 5 minutes right after the mistake. 5 minutes is cheaper than a whole day of self-blame. 5 minutes gives you a living document. You are building a personal lab library. Name the folder Lab, Fail to Learn. 1 file per mistake, 3 lines per page. At the bottom of the page, add the 3-step checklist. Open this library once a week. You will see patterns. You will stop repeating because you can see the repetition. But hold on. Some mistakes trigger overwhelming shame. Tell the story in 3rd person. Step out of it for 2 minutes. There is a person A who tried B and stumbled at C. That person learned D and will do E next time. That short distance makes you more objective. When you are calm, switch back to 1st person. Next time I will do E. Lock it in with a calendar reminder. Do not hunt for praise right after a fix. Hunt for data. Data gives you a strong backbone, not praise. If someone sneers, smile and hold your checklist. The checklist will answer for you on the next attempt. Remember the opposing structure of this chapter. Do not see a mistake as a verdict, see it as a map. Not shame, but curiosity. Curiosity leads to better questions. Better questions lead to small challenges. Small challenges lead to new evidence. Loop like this and you grow every day. No need for big slogans. You only need a compact process. Now for actions that pay off tonight. Benefit, you close the emotional wound and open the technical path. You take back the wheel quickly instead of drifting for long. Action 1. Dissect one recent mistake with 3 lines. Hypothesis test. Learn exact structure, no rambling. Action 2. Write a 3-step checklist to avoid a repeat. Short, clear, visible, ready to do now. Action 3. Schedule a smaller retry within 48 hours. No more than 30 minutes with a name and a time. When all 3 are done, you will feel lighter. That is the feeling of a learner, not the feeling of a self-judge. If you are tired tonight, use the minimum version. 3 lines in 2 minutes, 1 step in 5 minutes, 1 reminder on the calendar. When you feel better tomorrow, expand it. The point is to return. Returning is what changes how you see yourself. Every day you will fear mistakes less, because mistakes now have the right place, and you know the next road. Before you turn out, the lights whisper 1 line, like planting a stake in the wind, so that tomorrow you still have momentum. You already know the line. It is short, warm, and strong enough. It reminds you that you belong to a long journey. I grow every day. Tomorrow we will open the door to feedback. You will learn to ask for input without pain, ask the right questions, and turn feedback into fuel instead of a knife wound. Chapter 7, Feedback Fuel for a Growth Mindset, Not a Judgment. You do not avoid feedback because you are busy. You avoid it because you fear a bruise to the ego. That touch stings like salt on a scrape. Here's the hard truth. You are treating feedback like a verdict. People who progress treat feedback like fuel. So, we change the role of feedback today. Do not dodge input, ask for it proactively. Do not get defensive, probe for specifics. By the end of this chapter, you will have a 3-step frame to request, filter, and use feedback immediately. You will know which questions to ask, how long to meet, and what to do within 24 hours. You will keep your momentum without falling into the pit of wounded pride. Picture this. You send a presentation and receive the comment unclear. Your brain translates it as you are bad. Do not let the ego mistranslate. Translate it back into the language of work. Unclear equals needs a specific example and a sharper key line. Now think, the last time you received input, what did you do? Did you go silent, defend yourself, or ask clarifying questions? Not avoidance, but proactive asking. Not reacting, but reflecting. Not vagueness, but a next step locked in. Feedback scares you because it touches identity. Breathe deep, separate the person from the work. We will discuss the work, not the person. You will need a short question set. Short so others can answer easily. Short so your brain does not panic. The set has 3 questions. What are the strengths? 1 thing to fix. 1 small next step you suggest. 3 sharp points that drill to the heart. No extra words, no extra emotion. But hold on. Do not toss the questions in a chat and disappear. Schedule a 10-minute call. Discuss the specific issues, not the person. 10 minutes is long enough to move from general to example. Longer than that drifts into emotion. Shorter than that lacks data for action. On the call, open with a framing line. Thank you for reviewing the draft. I need concrete examples. Please point out the single biggest weak spot. Keep your tone calm. Capture keywords. Do not transcribe long sentences. Mark 3 impact points, no more. After the call, lock it in with 1 action inside 24 hours. The action must be visible. The action must be within your reach. For example, replace a blurry image with a data chart. For example, rewrite the key sentence in 12 clear words. For example, add 1 test case to the main function. Do the fix and send it back to the right person. Write 1 line updated according to points A, B, and C. You create a feedback loop that is short and clean. Why keep it short? Because short loops keep you from overthinking. Because short loops brace your ego between 2 crutches, facts and time. Not defensive, but specific questioning. Not why are you criticizing me, but which part is unclear. Not I believe I am right, but what evidence would convince you. When someone speaks in generalities, pull them toward specifics. This sentence is too long becomes, where would you cut to make it clearer? Lacks depth becomes, do we need more data or a concrete example? If their tone is harsh, hold the frame. Record the substance, not the attitude. Keep the useful part, drop the rest. Do not turn feedback into a win-lose contest. Turn it into a laboratory. You only need to run a better experiment than the last one. A small note for fragile days. Ask for input in a safe place first. A colleague who understands the work, a mentor, or a small group. Once you have a stronger version, widen the circle. From safe to slightly challenging. From slightly challenging to the real arena. The way you ask determines 80% of the quality of the answer. Do not ask, what do you think? Ask, what is the one thing I should fix? Do not ask, do you like it? Ask from a user's view, which part causes confusion? Do not ask, is it good enough? Ask what additional condition would make you say yes. You have the right to choose your feedback sources. Choose people with a professional eye and honest intent. Avoid those who attack the person or talk for amusement. Alternate viewpoints. One person for structure, one person for experience, one person for technical detail. Those three angles are usually enough to help you break through. Do not dump it all on one person. If you manage a team, teach the team how to give feedback. Praise effort, praise process, praise the part that improved. Point out one fix and one small next step. You just build a feedback culture. That culture feeds a growth mindset the way sunlight feeds a tree. Trees grow because they are watered consistently, not haphazardly. So, delete the line, do not criticize me. Replace it with, show me one thing to fix. Your brain will tolerate it better and learn faster. If your heart races when a feedback message arrives, put the phone down for 10 seconds. Exhale slowly, read the subject, then read the content. Separate emotion from facts with one sentence. This is information to improve. Sound helps you stand upright inside. You do not need to agree with everything. You need to test a slice. The slice most likely to raise quality visibly. Do not collect feedback. Use feedback. One small change is worth more than 10 untouched opinions. Now for concrete actions. The benefit of this trio is that feedback becomes fuel for the engine instead of nails for the tires. You take the short road to a better result today. Action 1, send the 3-question prompt. Write a short, polite, direct message. Could you help with 3 items, strengths, one thing to fix, and one small next step? Send it to one person you trust and one person with high standards. 2 angles help you avoid bias. Do not blast it to a crowd that will hesitate to reply. Action 2, schedule a 10-minute call. The goal is to extract concrete examples. State the scope up front. We will discuss content, not the person. Prepare a notes page. Leave 3 lines for 3 main points. Use bullet points, not long prose. When someone says bad, ask bad where. When someone says fine, ask which part is fine. Pull them toward metrics and real scenarios. Action 3, lock one change inside 24 hours and do it now. Choose something that takes 10 to 30 minutes. Choose the change that most clearly raises quality. After the change, report back with 1 line. Adjusted item A, per your note, please review this section. You close the loop with action and a schedule. If you face conflicting feedback, what do? Return to the original objective. Choose the path that serves the objective, not your pride. If a comment hits your personal style, keep the core, drop the ornament. You remain yourself, just a sharper version. Set one light principle for the mind. Do not seek flatterers, seek truth tellers. Do not ask to be soothed, ask to be guided. Every day ask for one small signal and deliver one small adjustment. That cycle teaches your brain that input does not kill you. It feeds you. You will run into a few overly harsh voices. Do not carry the entire thorn home. Take the useful sliver, leave the rest on the road. You will also meet empty praise. Accept it with a smile, then get back to work. Praise does not replace a checklist. Remember this chapter's opposing structure. Do not dodge input, ask for it proactively. Do not get defensive, probe for specifics. Do not collect advice. Lock one action. Do not wait to feel ready. Create a safe arena. Do not wait for perfection. Ship a better version. At the end of each feedback loop, fold the notes page. Place it in the same 1% folder. You are saving the path you have walked. A month from now, you will smile when you open it. New quality came from new questions. New questions came from new courage. If tonight you only have energy for the minimum, send a message with the 3 questions. Book 10 minutes for tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, lock 1, change under 30 minutes. Small, specific, measurable. You just poured fuel into the progress engine. When you turn off the desk lamp, you will know you have grown a little. Not because others spoke more gently, because you learned to listen with a learner's ears. And you will gently remind yourself with one warm, compact line that locks in momentum for tomorrow. I grow every day. Next, we will step into deliberate practice where you target the right weakness and set the right rhythm so every minute of training bites directly into the wall you want to break through. Chapter 8. Deliberate Practice, a system that feeds a growth mindset. You are not slow because you lack hours. You are slow because you are practicing the wrong thing. The more you practice what you already do well, the more beautifully you stay in place. That is the hard truth. Do not practice to feel skilled. Practice to hit the weak spot. Do not grope in the dark. Measure it. So, tonight we install a clear practice system. You will know which weakness to choose. You will know exactly how to measure it. By the end of this chapter, you will have 3 things. 1 targeted practice plan that fits inside 20 minutes, a pair of 60-second clips before and after to compare, and 1 small key performance indicator that rises by 10% in 7 days. Small, but with real pulling power. Enough for a growth mindset to take root. Picture this. You are training English pronunciation, but you keep reading the easy passage. Your mouth flows, your brain cheers, and your results stand still. You are coding, but only fixing obvious bugs. Your tests have no ugly edge cases. The feature looks fine and then breaks. You are writing, but you only adjust commas and periods. That is vague practice. That is practicing for the feeling. The feeling is good, the outcome is weak. Do not practice to feel skilled. Practice to hit the weak spot. Do not run circles on the field. Run straight at the wall. Do not sweat beautifully. Sweat in the right place. Now think, which skill do you need most this month? Speaking, writing, or coding? Pick 1 small, stubborn weak point. The sound that tangles your tongue. A warped loop when dirty data comes in. A 12-word key line you have not written yet. This weak point is a splinter. Pull it out and the hand stops aching. But hold on. Do not grab everything at once. Choose 1 splinter only. Put it on the table tonight. Deliberate practice has 3 beats. Pin down the specific weak point. Design drills that hit it head on. Measure after every round. Rule of 3 stops here to keep it tight. 3 is enough to remember and not enough to confuse. Now we design the drill. Maximum duration 20 minutes. 1 objective only, not 2. If it is the Thiersch sound. Drill 1, read a list of 10 Thiersch words slow, clear, steady for 2 minutes. Drill 2, read short lines with 3 Thiersch words in a row, record 2 passes. Drill 3, read a 60-second paragraph with the spread throughout eyes closed to feel where your tongue lands. Total time under 20 minutes. Right target, right duration. If it is coding, drill 1, write a test for the worst case you tend to avoid. Drill 2, run the test and capture the failure screenshot. Drill 3, fix 1 conditional branch, run the test again, add a 1-line note. Do not refactor the whole function. Touch the crack and only the crack. If it is writing, drill 1, write a 12-word key line for 1 idea, no more. Drill 2, write 2 real-world examples under 30 words each. Drill 3, strip for clarity, subject, verb, result. Cut the decoration. 3 drills, 1 target, visible and gradable. Why 20 minutes? Because the brain enters focus without fearing burnout. Because short makes you willing to return tomorrow. How do you measure? Record 60 seconds before and 60 seconds after. Compare with eyes and ears, not with feelings. Before practice, hit record. Read 1 passage, speak 1 idea, or run 1 function. Save it as before. EYMMDD. After practice, record again. Repeat the exact same action, save it as after WIYMMDD. Place the two files side by side. You will see the difference. Seeing builds belief, and belief drives the next round. Do not argue with yourself that progress probably happened. Let eyes and ears speak. Data silences doubt. Now for the key performance indicator, we do not need a big indicator, we need a sharp one. Choose a single metric. Words per minute while reading clearly. Number of tests that pass. Number of repetitions with correct form. Set a goal to rise by 10% in 7 days. 10% is visible enough to notice and small enough to achieve. For example, you read clearly at 100 words per minute on a passage with the itchy. 7 days from now, aim for 110 words per minute. You have 3 passing tests today. 7 days from now, 4 to 5 passing tests. You can do 10 push-ups with correct form. 7 days from now, 11. No more is needed. More will break the rhythm. So, lock the practice window, just like in chapters 4 and 5. Clean desk fixed hour distraction blockers. Let the system carry you, and you carry the weak spot. One important note. Do not let the feeling of progress fool you. Trust only the numbers and the clips. If today you are exhausted, use the 5-minute minimum version. 1 drill, 1 recording, 1 line of notes. You fear losing your form. Do not fear it. Keeping the chain matters more than putting on a show. Now into concrete actions. 3 hammer strikes to set tonight's stakes. Simple, decisive, measurable. The benefit of this action set is that you stop practicing for the feeling and start practicing for the data. You will know you are on track not by intuition, but by numbers and recordings. You will save time by striking directly at the pain point. Action 1. Choose 1 sub-skill and sketch 3 targeted drills under 20 minutes. Write them on paper before you start. If it is the THC sound, write the 3 drills exactly as above. If it is coding, write the worst case you will test. If it is writing, write the topic for the key line and the examples. Set the timer. Turn on Do Not Disturb. Begin now. Action 2. Record 60 seconds before and 60 seconds after. Put the 2 files side by side to see the difference. The benefit is a small wow every session. A small wow feeds real motivation. Real motivation pulls you into the next session. Action 3. Set a key performance indicator to rise by 10% in 7 days. Write the indicator at the top of your notebook and in the corner of your screen. Each evening, update 1 line. Day 1, 100 words per minute to 105. Day 3, 106 to 108. Day 7 touches 110 or close. If you do not hit it, that is fine. What matters is an upward number and a cleaner afterclip. But hold on. If the line goes flat, return to the targeted drills. You might be practicing too easy or too hard. Adjust in 2 directions. First, lower the load to keep correct form. Do not get sloppy. Second, raise the challenge 1 notch if it is too light. The key is the right level of hard. Hard enough to trigger the brain's learning reward. Not so hard that it triggers the urge to flee. I want you to remember 1 opposing structure. Do not practice to feel skilled. Practice to hit the weak spot. Do not grope in the dark. Measure it. Do not wing it. Follow a system. These 4 lines keep you from drifting. They keep you on the main road. For smooth operation, add a few small tips. Name your files consistently by date. Use a short looping playlist or total silence. Practice in the same spot each evening so your brain recognizes this is training time. Warm up for 1 minute with a very easy move. For example, place your tongue against your upper teeth before reading trace. For example, run NPM test before changing code. For example, type the headline before drafting the paragraph. That 1 minute is the bridge into state. You also need a session closing anchor. 1 12-word summary line. The errors spike before S. Fix that marker tomorrow. A short summary helps you return fast. Open the notebook and you know exactly what to do. No 5-minute fog of remembering. If you train with a partner, each person shares a before and after clip. Each person gives 1 specific note. The sound is clearer in think, still muddy in through. Null case passes, undefined case is missing. Key line is clear. The example is generic and needs numbers. Capture one point only. Act on it within 24 hours. Upload the new clip. Today you may not see a big jump. Look at the 7-day line. The upward slant is what matters. Every day you take one small bite. Every day you leave one trace. Every day you drive the stake a little deeper. If someone says natural talent decides everything, smile. Natural talent does not schedule. Systems schedule. Systems give you leverage. Leverage lifts you over the wall of vagueness. After 2 weeks, you will notice something interesting. The original weak point was just a gate. Behind it is new ground to cultivate. You will start to like the feeling of pain in the right spot, because that pain travels with progress, and that progress travels with self-respect. Envy fades. You are busy measuring your own numbers. You are busy reviewing your own clips. Tonight, do exactly these 3 actions. Choose the weak point design 3 drills and train under 20 minutes. Record 60 seconds before and 60 seconds after. Set a key performance indicator to rise by 10% in 7 days. Lock tomorrow's session into the calendar at the same hour. So tomorrow you do not lose momentum. When you turn off the light, whisper one warm line like closing the lid on your progress journal and reminding yourself you will return at the exact hour you set. I grow every day. Tomorrow we enter chapter 9. You will change the name badge in your head from the quitter to the person who is becoming. Chapter 9. Identity. I am becoming the self-image of a growth mindset. You have changed many habits, but in your head you still call yourself not good. That old label pulls you back like an invisible chain. Here is the hard truth. You can practice correctly, but if the identity is wrong, momentum still drops. Identity sets the glass ceiling, not the practice schedule. So, today we change the name tag in your head. Not I am, but I am becoming. Not worshiping talent, but honoring progress. By the end of this chapter, you will have 3 clear things. A 1-sentence declaration, sharp as a blade, that opens the path. A public signal, so the environment mirrors your new self. And a 9 o'clock in the evening ritual that locks identity each day. Small, steady, strong enough. The new identity grows roots from evidence, not from slogans. Picture this. You train for 20 minutes every night, but you call yourself a quitter. The mind will quietly pull the handbrake each time you near the checkmark line. The sentence I am frames you in and forces the brain to protect the old image. The sentence I am becoming opens the frame and lets the brain update from data. New identity is software, not stone. Now think about it. Who do you call yourself in your head no matter what you say out loud? Bad at math, shy to speak, weak at persistence, names worn smooth like pebbles in a pocket. Not I am bad, but I am becoming a fast learner. Not I am timid, but I am becoming someone who dares to ask. Not I am easily discouraged, but I am becoming someone who keeps the chain. When you change the pronoun, you change the brain's job. The old brain protects the label. The new brain searches for evidence that fits the new label. Identity is not born in the mirror. Identity is born in repeated behavior. Repeated behavior is born from the way you name yourself. But hold on. Changing the name tag is not self-soothing. Changing the name tag is assigning yourself a task. A new identity must attach to one action today. Open your 1% log and your micro-proof again. Each check mark is one brick. The wall of identity is built with bricks, not paint. We will use that wall to hang the sign I am becoming. The longer the sign hangs, the more your hands want to place another brick. That is the self-reinforcing loop. A quick reminder of the opposites. Not I am, but I am becoming. Not worshiping talent, but honoring progress. You dislike faking it, so do I. Therefore, every line today must stick to actions. A new identity needs 3 pillars. Name it, place it, time it. We will take these 3 pillars and stop. No clutter, no long philosophy. Pillar 1 is naming. The name must be short, clear, and about a direction. The name does not judge the past. It assigns a job to the present. For example, I am becoming a fast learner. I am becoming a clear speaker. I am becoming a person who writes every day. 1 sentence, 10 to 12 words, strong and close. Do not boast, make a promise to yourself. Pillar 2 is placing a public signal. You need the environment to mirror you so you see your new self somewhere outside your head each day. Change your avatar or profile description with one line, learning in public. Add one short signature line under your email. Update the description on your professional profile. This signal is not for show, it is a signpost for you. Open an app, see the line, and the brain remembers the new role. Pillar 3 is timing the 9 o'clock in the evening ritual. At this hour, you read your declaration out loud. Then you mark the day's check mark. Sound binds to memory more strongly than silent text. A check mark binds to progress more strongly than a promise. Your voice plus a check mark equals a lock on identity. Now the concrete benefits. When the I am becoming identity takes root, you fear mistakes less, because mistakes are just data on the road to becoming. When the environment mirrors you, you forget less, because every screen whispers the new role. When the hour is fixed, you negotiate less. You will be less tired because you are not fighting the past each night. You simply do the part that belongs to the present. The present will handle the rest for the future. On to the actions, 3 short, tight, measurable steps. Each step can be done in under 5 minutes. All 3 plant the identity stake today. Action 1, write a 1-sentence declaration. Benefit: you now have a command line for the brain instead of a negative label. How open notes, write 3 versions, choose one that is 10 to 12 words. For example, I am becoming a fast learner, or I am becoming a clear speaker, or I am becoming a steady writer. Read it slowly once. Listen for whether you believe yourself. If it feels far away, pull it closer. Action 2, change the public signal in 5 minutes. Benefit: the environment reminds you daily, so you do not rely on willpower. How update your avatar or profile description with learning in public, add 1 line in your email signature. 3 suggested places, your professional profile. 1 learning-focused social platform you use. Your default email signature. Write plainly and honestly. No frills, 1 sentence, no slogans pasted on. Action 3, 9 o'clock in the evening, speak and check mark. Benefit: your new identity is stamped daily by voice and by evidence. How set a 9 o'clock reminder, stand tall, read the declaration out loud, place 1 check mark, write 1 line. Where did I advance today? If you are busy, use the 2-minute minimum. Whisper it and check mark after reviewing your micro proof. The chain must not break. But hold on. You ask, does going public create pressure? Yes, but it is useful pressure. This pressure demands honesty and consistency. Choose a level of pressure that fits. Do not turn yourself into a loudspeaker. Just plant 1 small sign along your path. Now think, in 3 months, what do you want to be becoming clearly? 1 skill, 1 habit, 1 professional standard. Write it after the declaration. In the next 3 months, I am becoming a clear speaker in topic X. In the next 3 months, I am becoming someone who writes 150 words each night. When you finish, ask 1 last question. What evidence will prove this new identity? If you lack evidence, pull the identity closer. A new identity does not argue with reality. A new identity stands beside reality and lifts it 1 notch. 1 notch a day, no need to jump 2 steps. If someone mocks you, smile and return to the chain of check marks. The chain answers for you, not an argument. If one day you want to drop the new label, rewatch last week's microproof. Look at the before and after clips from Chapter 8. The data will put a hand on your shoulder and nudge you 1 step forward. No big slogans needed, just small, steady numbers. 1 subtle note. Do not write, I am becoming a perfect person. Write, I am becoming someone who fixes quickly. Perfect is a wall. Fix quickly is a door. We choose the door. A new identity also needs boundaries. You are not everything. You are becoming the few things that matter to you. Let the declaration collide with your craft. Collide with the skills you need. Collide with the standards you respect. At each weekend's end, review the line once. If you keep it, read it again. If you change it, change 1 word only. 1 word can change the arrow's direction. 1 word can make the brain feel closer. Do not shake the whole wheel every week. As you gradually believe your line, you will say it naturally. You will not strain. You act first. the sentence fits itself after. Every big change passes through the stop called I am becoming. At this stop, you do not prove who you are. You only prove how far you move today. If tonight you are tired, do the minimum version. Write one sentence, change one line in your profile description, say it out loud once. 3 beats, 3 minutes enough to lighten tomorrow? When you feel stronger tomorrow, do the full ritual. Keep 9 o'clock in the evening like an appointment with someone important, because that person is your future self. Before we close, review the opposing structure. Not I am, but I am becoming. Not worshiping talent, but honoring progress. Not living by image, but living by evidence. Not perfectionism, but quick repairs. Not saying it right, but doing it right. When the desk lamp goes dark, say one quiet line like staking your identity into the ground so you can stand firm in tomorrow's win. I grow every day. Tomorrow we will open the tracking log and expand it, turning the new identity into metrics and a fixed schedule so progress no longer drifts with luck. Chapter 10. Tracking and Expansion. Turning a growth mindset into long-term results. You do not slide because you are weak, you slide because you do not measure. The first few weeks you burn bright, then the rhythm drops, the chain breaks. Here is the hard truth. Without measurement, momentum does not hold. Without a schedule, you do not hold yourself. So, we change the operating system, not remembering on and off, but systematizing. Not winging it, but a fixed schedule. The promise is clear. You will have a 3-column board you can see every day. You will have a focus hour, 5 sessions per week, 45 minutes each at the same time of day, and a 20-minute Sunday review, keep drop increase by 10%. These 3 pillars lock momentum. They turn temporary progress into long-term results. Picture this. You drive with no clock, no map, no stops. Arriving becomes a coin toss. The brain is the same. Without checkpoints, it tells stories. The story is usually lenient. Now think about it. What exactly did you complete last week? You say I practiced, but you have no evidence. Not I kind of did, but I did. Not I guess, but exactly. Not I will remember tomorrow, but I will record it today. We set up Pillar 1, the 3-column board. Board name skill, evidence, schedule of check marks. Place it where you see it every day. What is skill? 1-line writing, coding, speaking. At most 3 skills. Do not be greedy. What is evidence? 1 micro proof you can touch 150 words, 5 lines of code, a 60-second voice note. Add 1 unit every day. What is the schedule of check marks? The chain that shows you actually did it. Simple boxes, no frills. But hold on. If you are busy, use the 5-minute minimum. Rule 3 columns on paper and tape it beside your screen. Pillar 2, focus hour. 45 minutes, 5 sessions a week. Same time, same place. Why 45 minutes? Long enough for deep focus, short enough not to scare you. 1 hour often gets broken. 45 minutes is easier to keep. Why 5 sessions? Frequency beats intensity. Consistency beats bursts. Choose a fixed time window. For example, 8:30 to 9:15 in the evening, Monday through Friday. Block it on the calendar, block distractions, power up the training desk. Not when I am free, I will do it, but when the hour arrives, I do it. Not let me try, but right time, right place, right task. Not let inspiration lead, but let the schedule lead. Pillar 3, the 20-minute Sunday review. 3 compact moves. Keep drop increase by 10%. Keep what works. Drop what is clutter. Increase by 10% where it matters. Why 10%? Small and visible within reach. A light increase keeps fear down and interest up. Now the daily flow. Look at the board in the morning. Update the board in the evening. During the focus hour, do 1 task tied to the skill in column 1. Create evidence for column 2. Place a check mark in column 3. When the session ends, snap a photo of the board. This is your backup. This is the receipt for your progress. If you miss a session, do not punish yourself. Shift it to the next day and keep the same time. So, keep the rule shift. The shift, do not cancel the shift. 20 minutes in the morning and 25 minutes in the evening still make 45. The chain lives and your mind relaxes. Now think, which skill deserves 5 focus hours this week? Pick a name and write it in column 1 right now. Do not multitask. Multitasking leaks energy, leaks kill chains. Inside each focus hour, use the 15-25-5 rule. 15 minutes to warm up and get into form. 25 minutes on the core task, no extra tabs. 5 minutes to close the book, log the evidence, and set one small reminder for tomorrow. Total 45 clear flow lighthead. Tomorrow you open the board and jump in. But hold on. If next week your schedule shatters, lower the standard 30 minutes 5 sessions or 45 minutes 4 sessions, but increase Sunday's workload by 10%. The point is rhythm. Rhythm keeps you on the road. Rhythm gives the brain a meeting time. Back to the 3-column board. How do you write it sharply? 1 line, 3 pieces, no detours. For example, writing 150 words. Hook. Checkmark Monday through Friday at 8:30 in the evening. Coding. 5 lines handling null. Checkmark on Tuesday and Thursday mornings. Speaking. Stack a 60-second voice note. Checkmark at midday on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Write it so one glance is enough. The brain should not have to translate. Do not over-decorate. Pretty is not as useful as usable. You are building a dashboard, not a poster. As the numbers rise, you will see the line tilt upward. Seeing builds belief. Belief keeps you going. If this week blows up, check 2 things. Is the time block fixed and is the goal too big? Adjust in the opposite direction. Do not demand a perfect hour, demand a fixed hour. Do not demand a lot, demand steady. Now for the 20-minute Sunday review. Set the appointment for 7:40 to 8 o'clock in the evening. Sit in a quiet spot, open the board and the micro-proof log. Step 1, keep. Choose 2 habits that produce clear results with low friction. Write the exact names, not vague labels. Step 2, drop. Choose 1 thing that is fussy, energy draining, and low impact. Strike it out now. Do not cling. Step 3, increase by 10%. In the core skill, raise 1 notch lightly. Add 15 words, add 1 test, add 10 seconds to the voice note. Why review on Sunday? Because that is when you step out of the trench to read the map. Because a new week deserves calm decisions. During these 20 minutes, avoid spirals. Do not self-judge. Look at numbers, clips, and check marks. If 1 week your mood dips, use the 10-minute review version. Keep 1 drop, 1 increase, 5%. Durability does not need to be grand. Durability needs repetition. Repetition needs low friction. You can move the 3-column board to digital, Google Sheets, Notion, or a simple application. But still keep a printout on your desk so your eyes hit it daily. Eyes are the expressway of habit. See equals, remember equals, act. Do not hide the board in a place you must open to see. In your accountability group, share a photo each Sunday. 3 images, last week's board, a standout micro-proof, the 10% plan. No speeches. Remember the core opposites of this chapter. Not remembering on and off, but systematizing. Not winging it, but a fixed schedule. Not a burst of effort, but long-term steadiness. Not running on hype, but running on structure. Not vague hope, but managing by evidence. Now for actions you can take tonight with clear benefits. You stake next week's momentum. You put progress on rails. Action 1, create the 3-column board and display it every day. Draw it on paper in 5 minutes or open a sheet with 3 clearly named columns. Tape it beside your screen and place a widget on your home screen. Action 2, lock the focus hour, 5 sessions per week, 45 minutes each. Same time, same place, same opening and closing ritual. Turn on automatic distraction blocking during this window. Action 3, schedule the 20-minute Sunday review. Add it to the calendar and write 3 lines. Keep, drop, increase by 10%. Attach the board link in the micro-proof folder. If tonight is too packed, do the minimum version. Draw the board in 5 minutes, lock 1 hour for tomorrow, schedule the review. 3 small steps, but enough pulling power. Now consider this. In the next 90 days, how steep do you want the upward line? If you want to see it, you must measure it. Picture this. 3 months from now, you open the 1% folder and the files stack like a photo album. Each image is a brick. You no longer tell stories. You present evidence, and evidence opens doors. When you are tired, read the board. When you feel lost, look at the chain of check marks. When you doubt, rewatch the before and after clips. That is your compass. That is your map. That is your feet on solid ground. When someone asks for your secret, you smile and point to the calendar. You say, this is how I keep the rhythm. So let's just stop chasing inspiration. Let the schedule pull you. Let the system protect you from yourself. When the desk lamp goes off tonight, write one final line. Next week, I will increase by 10% in skill X. Then put the pen down, breathe deep, and loosen your shoulders. Lock the day with one warm, compact sentence, a promise to yourself for the long road ahead. I grow every day. The next step is to bring every piece together in the final anthem, where we gather emotion, repeat the promise, and hit start within the next 24 hours. Ban konket vi thiu tai nang. Ban ket vi shua ko he. Homne ban jang ko 1% morning I loy la dulio feedback learn hien liu tap ko chujich den. Tin jang tro than va lich ko jin. Ten bo kong fire fep maum. Ten bo la kao truk lap lai. Ki kao truk jung vung ban jung bong. Hein hin lai han trin vua ji. Ban joy go noi joy moi truong joy kach jo. Bin kong sho hung ben tao chung shu. Kau ku yen ku jan jong lai. Kau ku yen moi mo bang tung dao. Jo la su dat kong the choi. Jem shuang ben sang hu mot jong bang. Moi micro proof la mod bong jen bat len duishan. Ban lan ban he jushas. Mort ngai hut hoi gung kong so. Hi keo ban jung day, ban tip tuk bay. Gioti jai kem shus len mot nas. Kong ai jen kuban. Ban tu ku min bang tung hana jong ho. Banjan kem joste lai. Ki jo la kwa ku tangala tung lai. Jong huang walang shutoy gwen ku. Ngay bai gio la mot viech dui nhet. Mo focus hour toy nai va je jong ho shade finider 40 fine foot. Kit thuk lu mot micro proof va jan mo dao tato. Nu kong lam ngai meseleban. Wong lap ku silai tang. Jung chuno ku hoi. Har nio minkabao tung le benmon. Benangai nua shoi kuai bar ruk len hu gay jin. Be moingai nua ngoi kach hoi bikwet. Ve ben chibao tu mako 1%. Shin moi ngai nua dan tin moya trutan pansa. Ban noi ro lam gonju jo. Ban hin ben tan wat he mot ngoi jang trutan. Kepele tu nai bang mot kau em bogon. Jok tu jem tan jong kok shon ngai mai. Tui fatrin moin ngai.